What's up guys, Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV, and today I'm super excited because I'm in Townsend, Tennessee for the Bronco Super Celebration East. Now the cool part about this is the single largest gathering of 2021 Ford Broncos in existence. So I'm really excited to be showing you a string of videos that'll showcase multiple different trim levels and things like that, and also my ride and drive with this new Bronco. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel with that bell notification turned on so you don't miss any videos. But in the meantime, we're going to do you a full walk around on this Big Bend and show you exactly what you get for your money. First up, let's take a look at the front end and what's going on here. Now, obviously the Bronco is redesigned completely from the ground up for 2021. In fact, the last time there was a Bronco was in 1996. Now, the first thing you'll see, it is raining out here, so the least you guys can do is give us a thumbs up. So thank you very, very much for the thumbs up while we're making a video in the rain. But nonetheless, I want to showcase what's going on in the front. You'll notice that this front grille is very different than things like the Badlands and, you know, a couple of the other grills that are available. And so just now keep in mind, this is also a pre-production vehicle. And the way that I can show that to you is you can see this little bull bar is the old design. So Ford has actually come out and re-engineered the bull bar to come up a little bit higher, so that way it's not blocking the Bronco emblem. And then also, this one's not equipped with it, but if it had a camera, it's not blocking the camera as well. But that is one telltale way you can see that this is a pre-production model, is because it does have a different actual front bull bar. Now, because you have this, when you get this option, it automatically adds in this particular bumper. This is the heavy-duty modular front bumper, and what's so cool about this is you also have the ability to go with a winch mount solution to this bumper, and it's a pretty cool setup as well. Now, this particular bumper also features these removable end caps, and the way that you can see that they're removable is because you've got these particular bolts that have all got Bronco written into the bolts themselves. So a pretty cool setup that you can see right there. Coming around to the side, you'll see this particular vehicle is going to be the Sasquatch version. The way you can tell that is because it's got a good set of Goodyear Wrangler tires. They're 315/70 R17 wrapped around a beadlock capable wheel, which is a pretty cool setup. Now, because it is a Sasquatch, you've also got a much wider fender flare, as noted right here. Now, the cool part is everything about the Bronco is completely modular. So you actually have the ability to remove this front fender and swap it out for something different, or just completely remove it so you don't have to damage it on the trail. Now, another cool way that you can tell this particular vehicle is a Sasquatch is going to be with the locking differentials. Because this vehicle has got a set of front locking differentials, it's automatically a Sasquatch. And it also comes with more aggressive gearing. So, like for instance, my particular Bronco build that I've got for myself has got 4.7 gears. And because I got the 4.7 gears, it also gave me the Sasquatch package. And by the way, if you guys want to know what my particular spec is on my Bronco, because I've got one ordered for me, make sure you're subscribed to that channel. I've got a video coming up very, very soon for you guys showcasing exactly what I've ordered. So let's do this. Let's come around to the side. I'm going to show you a couple of other cool things about this particular Bronco. So once again, this is a pre-production model, but as you can see right here on top of the gas can, or gas tank rather, you've got an emblem with 3 different Broncos in it, which I think is really cool, and it showcases how attention to detail this particular Bronco is. There's a lot more Easter eggs we're going to cover in this video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the back of the vehicle and kind of show you what we got there. All right, coming into the back area of the vehicle, you'll notice that the door does swing out, and it actually swings out a lot further than what most people even realize it does. So let's make sure it doesn't hit this pole, because I don't want to jack up a pre-production model. Ooh, they got that just about right. So that is fully articulated completely all the way out. And as you can see, it leaves you with plenty enough space inside of the back of the vehicle. Now, this is the first time we've been reviewing a 4-door here on the channel. Now, this particular vehicle has got a couple things. It's got the door bags, and it's also got the top bag for the vehicle. And this is what all of these bags look like in the back. So you've got all of this set up. You got these bags. I'm going to pull these out just so I can show you what kind of cargo space that we are working with this particular vehicle. And I don't want to set these down because it's raining outside, but as you can see, you've got a lot of space to work with in the back of the vehicle. And this particular vehicle also happens to have the weather liners in the rear of the vehicle. So it's a pretty cool setup. Now, what I like about this setup is because this is a 4-door, you also have the ability to take the doors off, put those bags on the doors, take the doors off, and then you can actually sort them and store them in the back of the vehicle. And I think that's a really, really cool setup. Now, the other thing that I want to point out to you guys is you see this motor located right here, and you've got all the wiring. All of that is going to be included when you get a hardtop from the factory. So as I've mentioned in a couple of previous videos, that if you go with a soft top from the factory and you want to opt for a hardtop later, as far as through the accessories department of your dealership, you're not going to have all the wires and the functions set up for that hardtop. So just know that if you may want a hardtop in the future, you might want to go ahead and go with this molded in color top from Jump Street. So it's very, very important. And speaking of hardtop, I've had a couple of people ask specifically, well, how does this hardtop look in comparison to the rest of the vehicle? Because, you know, that's a point of contention, is that Ford's no longer offering the hardtop, the painted modular hardtop for 2021. That's going to be 2022 because of supplier demand issues rather. So this is the molded in color top, and from what I've been told, this particular vehicle is going to be a late build in the pre-production status. So meaning that they're saying this is what the actual molded in color top is going to look like when it's all said and done. And the cool part is you compare that to the fender flares, it's a very close match. It's not exact, but man, I'm OCD and I'd be perfectly fine with this. And that's kind of the reason that I wanted to step out here into Townsend, Tennessee, to see exactly what this final spec is going to end up looking like. Oh, that thing's bad. It's a nice little Bronco. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming. And by the time you guys are going to be watching this video, I will probably already be gone on the event. But yeah, I'm spending up the whole day specifically here on April 21st to do that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and drop into the driver's side and show you a little bit about what's going on there. All right, coming on to the inside of the vehicle, this is specifically why I wanted to video this particular vehicle, because there's not a whole lot of videos floating around on the Big Bend. Everybody's either doing the reviews on these loaded up Badlands or the base models, and nothing really in between. Well, what's cool about this vehicle, this is going to be kind of your middle of the road package, if you will. And what I like about it is it doesn't look middle of the road. It looks a little bit more high end than anything else. So the first thing you'll notice on that dashboard, you've got an automatic 8-inch touchscreen. This has got Sync 4 system in it. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Yeah, they didn't leave us the keys, dang it. But this particular vehicle has got wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, even has heated seats in the front, and you have dual climate control for both sides. So a pretty cool setup. This is not necessarily going to be what you would think of as a base model. Now, a couple of other things I want to showcase to you. This one does have the automatic 10-speed transmission. You also happen to have your GOAT modes, and you also have your window control switches located right here in that center console. They put them here specifically because the doors do come off, as I've mentioned to you previously. Now, located here in the center console is a decent size center console. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, and it looks like this thing is taped in there. I don't know why, but once again, this is a pre-production model. But as you can see, it's got a decent amount of space. If you're looking for F-150 style center console storage space, you're not going to be getting it here. So something to note. Now let's talk about the upfitter switches. As you can see, each one of these Broncos, if equipped, has 6 auxiliary switches, which is great for wiring up things like winches or wiring up lights and anything you might think of. And the cool part is this is not just an auxiliary switch. They also pre-run a lot of the wires that you'll need to run the accessories. So it drastically reduces the amount of wires that you actually have to run for the particular vehicle. So pretty cool stuff there. Now, while we're in this area, I want to talk about the hood latch, or the roof latch rather, and show you what's going on here. So to remove this top is actually very easy. All you'd have to do is drop this latch down, slide this piece over, slide this piece over, and slide this piece over, and guess what? This one passenger side panel comes off automatically if I were just to push up. So it's a pretty cool setup that Ford has given us with completely hands-free, no need, or tool-free rather. You don't have to actually own a tool to get the roof on and off, which is really, really sweet. Now, the same thing goes for the driver's side, and then also happen to do for the rear as well. And the other thing that you'll notice, this is the sound deadening headliner that Ford is now giving to every single one of our Bronco customers if they go with the molded in color hardtop for 2021. So pretty sweet setup. Now, there's a couple of other things I want to showcase to you here, like specifically in the actual windshield itself. You see this big old box. What in the world is that big old box? Well, that's a couple different things. This particular particular vehicle is upfitted with a couple of different driver safety features, specifically the lane keeping, as you can see the button right there. This vehicle does feature, lane keeping, not lane centering. There's a difference there. So like for instance, there's an Explorer that my wife is driving. She has lane centering where it literally maintains you in the perfect center of the lane as you're driving. But what's going on in these boxes up here is these are cameras looking for the lines in the road. And if it sees that you're starting to veer outside of the lane, it will bounce you back into the middle of the lane to keep you safe and to keep you from getting in an accident. That is called lane keeping. That's what the Bronco has. Now, while we're in this area, I want to talk about a couple of other things. You've got your front locking differential that I told you about just a second ago, and the alarm's about to go off because they locked us in it. So, the alarm is about to go off. Yep, they shouldn't have locked it. There we go. All right, so now I don't know if the camera's still rolling, but that'll make for a good blooper reel. But as you can see, you got your front locking, rear locking differential. That is a signal of that Sasquatch package we talked about earlier. One of my favorite freaking features to see in person is going to be that trail turn assist. It literally locks that inside rear wheel, so that way when you turn at full turn, the vehicle will literally pivot. It locks that wheel, so that way the truck pivots around that tire. It's wild if you haven't seen that in person. Traction control, and then also your hazard lights. So pretty cool setup. I'm really, really excited to see all of this stuff in action later today. Well, for me, for you guys, it might be another day or so, but I'm taking my test drive later on today. Now, here's the other thing I want to showcase to you. I'm 6'3", guys. And do you see how much leg room I've got? I'll let Josh get out so he can kind of showcase what's going on. I believe this seat is all the way back. If I had people in the back seat, I have almost too much room. So I probably, I feel 100% comfortable going on a long distance drive. This is plenty of room. But realistically, being 6'3", would be where I would want to go. And a couple of other people have also talked about how much headroom do you have being 6'3". So hopefully the camera is able to pick that up pretty easily. But yeah, it's plenty of room for the 4-door version. And now let's do this. I want to hop in the back seat and showcase to you exactly what that looks like as far as leg room is concerned. Now keep in mind, I had a ton of leg room up in the front, and in the back, yeah, it's a little bit more cramped, but once again, I had more than enough room in that front seat. And also being in the back, 6'3", I've got plenty enough headroom. So this is going to be my new daily driver. I am super pumped. A lot of people have asked, well, how does it, what do you feel like after you've had a chance to see it in person? I'm more pumped now than I was 6 months ago or 12 months ago. Ford has absolutely hit the nail on the head. Now, I do want to showcase to you a couple of things located right here in that center console as I hop out so I can point it to you. But you'll notice that the center console has got a couple of different things. You've got your household power outlet. You got USB-C and USB-A located right there. Your window switches, yet again, still in that center console. But one thing you'll note, there's no air conditioning vents in this center console. I think that was a big no-no. I think that was something Ford missed on this particular model. But I understand you've got 4 windows. That's what they say, 460 air conditioning system, 4 windows down to 60 miles an hour. So that if you get a Bronco, whether it's a 2 or a 4-door, your only air conditioning vents in the rear are going to be located down at the floor. So that's something that you need to know before you specifically buy a 4-door Bronco. Now, the other thing I want to showcase to you, and it's going to be a little bit hard to showcase in this particular video, so I'll have to put some B-roll footage on top of it, but you'll notice that as I'm sitting in this back seat, you'll notice that the safety bar is located behind that rear seat. The idea there is that everybody has got a clear view of the sky without any bars intruding into your actual view. So I think that's a really good job that Ford did specifically on the Bronco. Now let's take a look underneath the hood. All right, so taking a look underneath the engine, or underneath the hood rather, there's a couple of, do you see how fast I opened that hood? I just, props for that, right? No. Let's do this. Speaking of props, let's use this hood prop, which I really wish Ford would have given us a gas hood struts, but you know, beggars can't be choosy. As long as they get everything else right, I am pretty dadgum pumped. But there's two engines available specifically for the 2021 and 2022 Ford Bronco. You have the 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, and then you also happen to have a 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost. This particular engine is that 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost, and as you can see right there on the screen, it makes a whole lot of horsepower, a whole lot of torque. And although I haven't had a chance to drive one specifically yet, that is coming very, very soon, and I'm excited to see how this thing is going to handle as far as acceleration is concerned, especially with that low gearing. The 4.7 gears that you can get in a 2.7 is ridiculously low, especially made it up to that 10-speed automatic transmission. And there you go. That is our little video reviewing the Big Bend 2021 Ford Bronco, the big boy, the 4-door. I'm so excited to be showing this stuff to you in person. And like I said, we've got a lot of videos coming of this event. So if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you do so by smashing that subscribe button and also hitting that bell notification so that way you don't miss a single video. If you have any questions specifically that you want us to cover, make sure to hit those down in the comments below. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the YouTube channel with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss a single video. Peace.